Islam family.
Islam.
So today, Sunday, February 12th, 2012, and on this beautiful day, we're here to take in a beautiful lecture from our own brother Isa here in Canaan land, and we're going to be Skyping with uh, Grand Sheikh Nature El Bay, but he's in New Jersey. So we have a good association with those brothers, with the Moors Order of the Round Table, with Moorish American National Government, all the active Moors. You know, us Moors here in Canaan land, we like to call Kananta Almaraksa Septentrionalis. Okay, that's the seventh, that's the circle seven that we were given back to in 1865 for the freeing of the slaves. Okay, that's why that's our national seal. So um, before we start, we'll just rise and give honors to Noble Ali, rise and give honors to all the active Moors, the Grand Sheiks, Moors all around the world, known and unknown, and five on the left and two on the right. Allah, the Mother and Father of the universe,
Allah, the Mother and Father of the universe,
the Mother and Father of love,
Mother and Father of love,
truth, peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is our protector,
Allah is our protector,
our guide, and our salvation, by night
by night
and by day.
and by day.
We visit our holy prophet, Noble Ali. Amen.
Amen.
Amin.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Hotep. Sila. Islam.
Islam.
So, before Adisa shows up, I'll just read out of this pamphlet, which is titled, If You Have Race, Pride, and Love Your Race, Join the Moorish Science Temple of America. Give thanks to Moors in Asbury Park, New Jersey, for this one. We also received your newspaper, beautiful, well done, continuing to inspire us. So this is excerpt from the Moorish Guide, Friday, September 14, 1928. The Moorish Science Temple of America was founded by Prophet Noble Ali. Aside from the fact that it is a legally organized religious corporation, it is building on human needs. To this desirable end, in time, legitimate means will be bound to dispense charity and provide for the mutual assistance of its members in times of distress. To aid in the improvement of health and to encourage the ownership of better homes, to find employment for our members, to teach those fundamental principles which are desired for our civilization, such as obedience to law, loyalty to government, tolerance, and unity. It is most earnestly hoped that the Moorish Science Temple of America will not in any way be confused with any Back to Africa movement. Such is not important insofar as American citizens of our group colonizing Africa are concerned. We, the Moorish Science Temple of America, like countless other American citizens, know that we must live together here in America in harmony, friendship, and goodwill, whatever our race or creed may be. It is only from a purely religious standpoint, it seems at this time, that we differ from a large number of our fellow Americans. We believe in and foster the Muslim religion, M-O-S-L-E-M. We believe in the principles of its teachings insofar as they can be adopted to American life. We feel that Christian religion is all right for those who prefer it. In America, religious freedom is guaranteed all under the Constitution. We are interested in freeing ourselves and our children from our greatest plight, economic slavery. We believe this can be best done by encouraging, patronizing, and establishing our own business enterprises and cultivating our own acres of land. We welcome into our fold men and women of our group of all sections, all trades, occupations, and professions of sound mind and good character. We are friends of servants of humanity. We are dedicated to the purpose of elevating the moral, social, and economic status of our people. We have set about to do this through a wide and comprehensive program embodying the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Love. And this is just a word from the Prophet. Quote, in this electrified age, men are racing into this life without complete knowledge of where they are going or what the end will be, when riches seem to be their only pursuit, to be obtained any way and at any cost. When selfishness, avarice, greed, and lust dominate their very being, when humanity in general is left at the mercy of those who have no mercy in them, it is truly wonderful and astounding to see one come into this mad human drama for the sole purpose of saving humanity, losing all sight on those things worldly and yielding absolutely to a cause higher than has ever yet been attained attained. This picture is the likeness of Prophet Noble Jew Ali, who was serving humanity. Okay, so that's just from this little flyer. We're going to be making copies of this and encouraging everyone to hand these out. Today, however, before I make copies, there's just some other flyers that we'll distribute, and then before Lisa shows up, if anybody has any questions, we can just do a little discussion before we start the lecture. Or anything they want to discuss, put on the record. Well, personally, I'll just say this, then, speaking about putting things on the record, we're going to be established MoorishRecords.com, MoorishPublicRecords.com, where a particular group of Moors, a particular temple has posted all the things they want put on the record, right? The internet is a valid place for putting things on the record, as long as there's a date or whatever, and your document has its own date. You scan it, you put it up there, right? So we're going to be establishing that site for ourselves here in Canaan Land, and you can get at me if you want to assist, or you have anything that you want to put on that site. Question?
Yeah, one of the questions that I had was in terms of understanding but in the magazine it shows where the Prophet really was on the square.
Yeah.
And it was wiped out.
Yeah.
But it didn't go into a further explanation of exactly what the square was about, what it entailed, and why it was wiped out.
All right. You have the paper. So it's making reference to the article in the Moorish Guide for Canaan Land Territory on page 3. In October 1928, the Moorish Science Temple of America held its first national annual convention. This is a picture of the convention. Zealots of the Prophet, or untaught Moors, had wiped out the Prophet's feet because it shows him standing on the square. Right? So, during that time, say mid-1900s, so after the Prophet passed in 1929, anything that had to do with things of that nature were either looked at from an esoteric perspective by the esoteric people or by the Masons. And then everybody else, as far as North America is concerned, because everybody else in the world had their own religion that they were doing where they are. It's only in North America where there's this influx of religion, just like influx of nationalities that are leaving where they're from to come here, right? So during that time, the perspective was that anything to do with degrees of knowledge was Masonic in nature. Like that was their stuff, right? Secret orders and stuff like that. So they either ignorantly wiped it out in the picture, right? Because he's standing on the square in the picture, right? Which would imply to unknown people that he's a Mason because he's standing on the square. Because that's or known people, right? But that's what they would only equate it to. They wouldn't see it from a higher perspective. Because as a quote-unquote black person, being in Masonry or in a Masonic lodge, he's only going to a certain degree, and that's it. Period. Because he's not supposed to know anymore. Because he's Hiram Abiff, who got knocked out, and is the foundation of Freemasonry. That one individual who was a North African Moor. Or just, that's just part of the story that they don't talk about.
because they'll just say he's North African, right? But in the definition of Moor, it'll tell you that Moors are North African. Okay, right? So they're Moors, right? So Masonry sort of got into the temple after Noble Drew Ali passed, because Noble Drew Ali said that it's the Christian ministers that are coming at him the hardest because they were Masons, not because they were Christian ministers.
Or because they were Masons.
Yeah, they were part of the Black Lodges.
Get that position, be in front of.
Because whoever got that position would rule the Black African liberation, Pan-African thing.
Really, if you think about it, those people rule the world. Like if you rule these so-called black people in America, you rule the world.
That's the source. That's the juice. The melanin, right? It's like I was building with a brother, and he was talking that he took his daughter to the planetarium, right, to see the universe exhibit or whatever, and they were saying that the galaxies just go. Like there's no end to the galaxies and the universes that they saw with the most powerful telescope that they had. Right? The level that they're not looking at it is, if that's how far the galaxies go, then how far is the blackness that the galaxy needs in order to manifest? Because that's everything. That's the source of everything. Right? But we're still not black, because we're talking about science right now, and cosmology and astronomy and all that, and that has nothing to do with our identity. Right? So, sellouts of the prophet, or untaught Moors, had to white out the prophet's feet because it shows him standing on the square, which, with the compass, is claimed to have its origin in Freemasonry. Moorish science says he is standing on the square because he used the square to measure all his lines, to straighten out the crooked places of the way, and make the corners of his conduct square. And he used the compass to draw circles around his passions and desires to keep them in bounds of righteousness. So that's what the purpose of the compass and the square that you see Freemasons use, that's what the purpose of it is. Right? And that definition of the compass and square is in the Moor Science Temple of America Holy Quran. Right? And we're not going to discuss it right now, because that's why we say join the Moor Science Temple, so you can learn the keys. Right? And the keys are tablets. And tablets is medicine, because we're a sin-sick people. That's why we're black people to other people in the world. And now to ourselves. And that's why we're bludgeoning Black History Month. Because it's not ours to claim. We have a culture. It's called Moorish history, Moorish culture, Moorish language, Moorish identity. That's what it is. Anything before the black period goes into Moorish history. If you look at black history, and you look at the history before black history, it's Moorish history in the history books. But they won't call it Moorish history, they call it North African history, and Arab history, and Saracen history, and Phoenician history, and Canaanite history, and they call it all these other histories except calling it what it is, Moorish history. From ancient times, because Moor is not modern, a modern thing. it's modern to the ignorant, right? Just like the new world is ignorant. Because how could it be a new world if the Constitution that this new world follows is known to the world as the oldest Constitution? And then if it's a contradiction, you put it down immediately. No need to even deal with that matter. Right? Since the Prophet's assassination in 1929, officials of the MSTA, most of who were Prince Hall Masons disguised as members, instituted the belief that Moorish Americans are a people who could only be made within the rituals of the clandestine Moorish Science Temple. So the ministers came in knowing what, because they're not gonna, if you have melanin and you come to a Moorish Science Temple meeting as an agent, you're gonna get woken up a little bit because this is yours. So he might be here for some ulterior motive, but his pineal's still getting kicked up. Just for the simple fact that this is his. This is not something that belongs to a group of these people called Moors that have this thing called a Moor Science Temple, and then there's this prophet by the name of Noble Jew Ali that the Moors follow, and they have a book that he wrote, and this is a religion. That's what they want you to think. That was the whole idea of the Masons coming in, right? The Masons wanted to come in to infiltrate. For the Europeans, the pale Europeans, that gave them the orders to go infiltrate. Because whoever controlled the Moorish movement controlled the black liberation, whatever you want to call it. Even Muslims who are Sunni, Shiite, whatever, that say Prophet Muhammad is the prophet, peace be upon him. Right? Even they recognize Noble Jew Ali as the founder of Islam in America. When they found out, because before that, they were saying that it was Fraud Muhammad. When you check the history, you'll hear, when you read the books, the early books of Elijah Muhammad, you'll hear him push Fraud Muhammad as Allah in man. That came to these people in the wilderness of North America. And to tell them about their ancestry and all this. And that Fard Muhammad was known to be a peddler of clothes that were said to be from the country where he came from, of his ancestors, and he came with this knowledge to teach the people. So he set up a little like Avon business, right? In order to preach the word of Allah in him that he got from Noble Jew Ali. And never said that he got it from Noble Jew Ali. Pushed it like he's the guy. And everybody bought it. This is because, okay, let's go back to here. Since the Prophet's assassination in 1929, officials of the MHTA, of whom were Prince Hall Masons disguised as members, instituted the belief that Moorish Americans are a people who could only be made within the rituals of the clandestine Moorish science temples. A Freemason's real title is Free Moorish Master Mason. This is because the Moors are the revealers of the light, while Freemasons are the keepers of the light. Never forget it. Who draw to L? Example. The Moors are the revealers of the light, and the Free Moorish Master Masons are the keepers of the light. That's not what I say, because I'm Moor. That's what they say. Go read any Freemason book. They'll say, we are the keepers of the light, and the light is knowledge. And the knowledge, which is the secret that they have, is that there's these people that came from, nobody knows where they come from, but they live in the Americas, which includes the Caribbean islands. Right? Everybody knows that these people have always been on this side of the continent. It's common knowledge to everybody, even in other people's sacred texts. They talk about coming over on this side of the land, right? We would have to have relations with those people or know their language in order to get that history, right? Because they're not just going to tell anybody, right? Because there's international rules and regulations with regard to what validates me being able to deal with you. And the thing that validates that is Moorish nationality. And that's the secret of Freemasonry. When people say Noble Drew Ali told us that we're Moors, and don't look at it from the perspective that he brought it. There was fezzes before Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali didn't bring Moors, right? This is not religion. That's why it says join, right? It's saying join so that you can take your place amongst the affairs of men. Because nothing's going to happen without you being involved with this. Like, this is not going to move if you're the Moorish nation, not us. We're just some other brothers who the Prophet's been here, brought everything to you to save you from everything that's going on. But we don't want it. We want Reiki, and we want pyramids and crystals and ankhs, and we don't even care about our birthrights and our nationality, which is divine. So if it's divine, it means that each individual has their piece of it that they're supposed to use to assist the whole, without expecting anything in return, because we're not doing it for us, we're doing it for the children, so they have some. It's not for us. We're the revealers of the light. We're supposed to give the light to people, and then they're supposed to take it and do whatever they're supposed to do with it, because they're going to be inspired different than I'm inspired. We're just sparking it. And we're just ripples of the spark that Noble Drew Ali came with in 1913. That everybody sold out. Anybody that calls themselves something other than Moorish, sell out. Because their prophet came to them specifically, and they didn't want him. They went chasing after Fad Marvin and Marcus Garvey and all these people who were leading to nowhere. Because nothing matters if you don't have a nationality. If you don't have a nationality, nothing that you do doesn't matter. You might as well not did anything. If you don't have national principles that are recognized by other nations of the earth, you're nobody. I can talk to anybody. I can talk to a German and he's going to say, yeah, I know about Moors, M-O-H-R, in his language. I'm going to talk to somebody who speaks French and he's going to say, yeah, I know about Moors, M-A-U-R-E. And it's still pronounced Moor. And I'm going to go to some Scottish person and he's going to show me some crest from his family, you know what I mean, that they hold so sacred. They got it framed in their house over the fireplace with a black head on it. And they're going to say that's the Moors. And then they're going to have a Moor head on a plane. And then they're going to have a fish called a moorfish, and it's black. But it's not called a blackfish. And we don't want it. We don't want it. Like, everybody's telling us that's what it is. But we don't want it. So everybody's going to do what they have to do to benefit themselves. You know what I mean? Feed off of the dead carcass, black people, Negro, colored, African, Ethiopian, whatever they call themselves. It's not because I say so. This is what Noble Drew Ali said. That's why we choose to kill Black History Month during Black History Month. Because it hasn't done anything for us. If we said we were Moors from the time that we were saying we're black, you know how far we would have been? Just today, brother comes in here, running in here, that, yeah, he just got tested. He just got tested. They pulled him over. No this, no that, no nothing, no nothing. Speeding. Right? Like just happened right now. And all he told them, he didn't show any paperwork, no ID card, nothing like that. Yo, I'm a Moor. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a Moor. I have a nationality, I have birthrights. Right? Now, if he has no stuff, anybody else that they stop out there, if you have no license, if you have no whatever, you're getting a ticket. For sure. You're getting a ticket. Right? And then he walks away with the ticket for $20, $40 or whatever. Forget about the fact that, yeah, he got the ticket. He didn't have anything. Yeah, he got a ticket, but it's $40. Opposed to 20 G's. 5 G's for no license. 5 G's for no insurance. 5 G's for whatever else they're going to make up on the spot right there. Still no impound, nobody taking the car away, nothing like that. So it's not like people don't know. But if you're not going to stand up on it, if you're not going to use your nationality and birthrights for what it was given to you for, to use, then suffering is going to go on. You know what I mean? The average person right now will be crying right now. Because they're going to be impounded right now. They're going to have 4 tickets in their hand for 5 G's each. Due at the end of the month. Right? And then these same people that set all that up are going to have a big celebration and, you know what I mean, celebrate Black History Month. And call this head of state and call that head of state, and all of them are going to be pushing Black History Month and supporting it. When it's doing that to people. Only because he knows about his birthrights, why nothing never happened. Why he doesn't have anything. He has 1 ticket for $40 to show. Just happened. This didn't happen an hour ago. Like it's not something spooky. You know, it's not something spooky.
Actually, it's 25.
Oh, okay, so right, so why he's gonna say that he's a Moor? They're gonna give him a ticket, and then they're gonna give him $25 fine, and then 2 and 5 7, and then 7 is the seal of the Moors. And we're not gonna think that
Did you say 2 and 5?
$25, 2 and 5.
The number is 7.
So 5 and 2 is in every language.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, right,
Oh, that's why I said
right,
that. Like
right.
the connection.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Right. And then they have a thing, total payable 40. Right? Total payable 40. Right. Nice. So nationality is the order of the day, regardless. Regardless of what, nationality is the order of the day. Right? Not because we say so, but because it's 2012, Prophet came 1913, and we haven't even considered him until now. Some people still haven't even considered him yet. And he came in 1913, and they considered every single thing else that never amounted to anything, and they still don't just say, okay, alright, for myself, like I've been to every single school of thought, right? And all of them lack law, which is what everybody's complaining about. That they're getting taken advantage of because these people are abusing their authority. Well, they're only abusing their authority because they're given it by not having a nationality. So they're going to take your nationality and club you over the head with it, or lock you up with it, because it's your authority that they're using. And again, you have to see it as yours. Yeah, you know what I mean? For like really layman people, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Black History Month, celebrate black people, you know what I mean? You know what you're talking about. But you can't use that term. That's a slave term. You want national news talking about you're a black person? You know what I mean? And the thing that's coming up is in the place where we live, right? In Toronto territory, right? Toronto County. Anything Toronto except City of Toronto. The City of Toronto is a private corporation. Just like the City of is private corporation anywhere you go, in any language. And that's not what I say. If you go on Dun & Bradstreet, dnb.com, those are people who businesses have to register with, right? And you just punch in City of Toronto on that and see if it comes up as a government or if it comes up as a corporation. Not what I say. Like dnb.com, that's what they say. They say that
as a corporation.
just go on the website and check it
Well,
out.
I mean, I know that USA is a corporation.
So if that's a corporation, then why can't Canada be a corporation? Why can't Brazil be a corporation? If India was a corporation at one time, if Hudson's Bay is a corporation right now, like Hudson's Bay is a corporation right now.
Yeah, it is.
Right. But they talk about Hudson's Bay before that was a store that we can walk around here. In Canadian history, they talk about Hudson's Bay. And there is a Hudson's Bay. Right? It's just everything's corporate right now. So because everything's corporate, you better protect yourself. Because the corporate democracy that's trying to overthrow every single republic on the planet is not catering to stateless people. A stateless person is outside of law or an outlaw. And then outlaws are ruthless. And if you're ruthless, that means you have no Ruth in you. And then Ruth is a Moabite. And Noble Drew Ali said that the Moors' ancient name is Moabites. And then you could read about Ruth in the Bible. And it says Moabites in the Bible. But nobody's going to call themselves that. They're going to call themselves Hebrew, and they're going to call themselves Egyptians, and they're going to call themselves Kemetans. They're going to call themselves every single ancient name. And they will not ever call themselves Moors. That's sorcery. Black witchcraft.
Call yourself
Black.
nobody.
To call yourself black and not call yourself Moor. To call yourself African and not call yourself Moor. To call yourself whatever you want to call yourself and not call yourself Moor is sorcery.
The European use it.
European uses it gladly. Everybody else uses it in their own language, gladly. And they come here and they ask the question, how come when I come here, this is the only place, anywhere I go in the world, that they call people black people? North America, which anciently is the hub of the Moorish Empire, the central station, which includes where we're at, Canaan land. Right? Any more? Any questions? If you can talk up a little bit so we can get you on the...
I wanted to touch a little bit on the life, predate maybe Martin Luther King, because now we have the Black History Month on radio, wherever you go, it does Martin Luther King, and what he has done for black people. My question is, this is a man that yes, we know he has this knowledge in the world. It's not like he was fighting for civil rights, which we are told from the knowledge of God that well, there's going to be a fight for already. You don't need to get into that. So what are the influences that has brought the diminished some of what the Moorish have here before Martin Luther King? Why is this so popular? What the campaign has started in this time?
During Martin Luther King's time or prior to him?
Before his in his time, because the more that he had before him and he does not have the knowledge really about
No, well, by that time, everybody who was Moorish either went to UNIA, they either went to NOI, right? They either stayed Moors and just went to this religious idea of what being a Moor is, right? Which is just another group or whatever that you just join and then you become a Moor, right? And you have then the Black Panther and those people, that were more, they would say, the radical black, whatever, right? And then you had him and what he was about, right? Civil rights, but then later on changed his tune, and him and Malcolm were about to kick it off, because both of them started recognizing that it's more than civil stuff, right? Malcolm X stopped talking about the idea of the white man is the cracker and the black man needs to. He stopped talking like that, right? Because he understood that it was time for him to take the place, right, among men as a civilized being, right? And his high name was El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, and nobody calls him by that name. Black history will call him Malcolm X. In law, that's called denationalization. which is a war crime. And they did that to Martin Luther King too. Because he's not king. King is a European. Who knows what his name is? He's been denationalized so many times, so long throughout his family. That's why Noble Drew Ali came in 1913. Because from that time, we were in that position where we had names that weren't our own. And his purpose was to come and redeem us so that we can now have an actual claim. We can have something really tangible to claim, right? But nobody wanted that. Everybody wanted to try to be the hero to save black people. You cannot save black people. They're stateless. They're nationless. They're vile. People do not want those type of people around. Civilized people. Not because they're not empathetic or sympathetic, but because that's an international war crime for them to assist somebody who does not want to assist themselves. Why do you think they have all these things with, you know, quote unquote Africans that are suffering? You know, and then they have all these international whatevers and they take pictures of them and say, yeah, you know, fund these people, give them a 1 penny, and that 1 penny goes a long way, right? Those people aren't doing anything for themselves. They want handouts. So the civilized world has a right to turn their back on them. If you're not going to do anything for yourself, flies on your mouth, you're not going to freaking do like this. You're going to sit there. If you're not going to do anything for yourself, nothing at all, then you don't deserve to be free. And that's majority of people's position. Not because they want to, you know, because they blame the system and the oppression that is put on them. Well, you're not doing nothing for yourself. You're playing the victim. If you're playing a victim, then keep getting victimized. So I know Noble Drew Ali said proclaim your nationality. So when you're victimized, now you can actually do something about it. Because you have a national name that's recognized by all nations in the world. Everybody knows who. If Muslims should say they know who Noble Drew Ali is, then I will back that. Because the Muslim population on the planet is very big. Right? We're not talking foolishness like, you know, Taliban and like those guys aren't Muslim. Right? Right? So it's important for us to take what Noble Drew Ali brought serious. Because black history is something that they're imposing on us. It's not something that we gladly, you know, I say we because I'm trying to bring us together. But I really don't mean we, because we don't really promote black history, really. Right? We're just doing this because of the influx of people who are involved in this thing and don't even know what they're involved in. Islam. Don't even know that they're involved in their own degradation. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to get readied up right now to get Grand Sheet Nature El Bay on. If you want to, you have on this Skype stuff. Yeah. Log in and stuff. Is there any more questions? Anybody else right now?
I would also suggest One movie that could verify the seriousness of nationality, The Whistleblower. Anybody see that movie? Go check out The Whistleblower. That really helps put things in perspective. And that's a true story. The Whistleblower, yeah. What song? Whose Skype account are you using?
No more questions?
Okay, then what's the password?
Nothing?
So, how are you reaching the young people with this knowledge?
Just last week Wednesday, we went to do a Black History presentation at a Catholic school, elementary school. So they're getting it. We do community work, community events. A lot of people are in the community already doing certain things. So it's not that the information is not getting out there, right? But it's getting out there to assist people in certain ways that it suits their life, right? Because don't forget, we're late. We're 99 years late.
I mean, especially we talk about like in the prison system.
You came a long time ago.
You know, like in the prison system is a great place.
Well, the thing is, who runs the prison? Certain things are going to let them know. Unless you go in there, and you can't go in there from the, hi, my name is, I want to do some presentations at the prison. You have to go in there in order to get this message to those people. And then that's another faction of the Moorish perspective and the Moorish culture in America. That there was Moors and descendants of Moors during the assassination of Noble Drew Ali that got locked up and had to go to jail for certain things. Some of them kept teaching. So the people who are coming out with their birthright, with the knowledge. Right?
So you can't just go in and set up camp. Unless you lie about the gun bar.
Yeah, you have the password?
Yeah.
Okay.
talking about tools, we can, yeah, that's a good point that you brought up, right? So while we're waiting, we'll just visit our site. Right, so here's so those who don't know, this is our website, and you know what I mean, we get people, we have information on the prophet, and other past members or leaders.
Which website is that open to?
So this is www.canaanlandmoors.webs.com. So I'm talking that flyer there.
Oh, Canaan Land. Canaan Land. Okay, Canaanite.
Canaan Land.
Okay, Canaan Land.
Right, our divine constitution and bylaws is up here. Information on Garvey. Yeah. And that, yeah? Well, that's Raleigh right there.
Oh, and Darby,
Yeah, that's Raleigh. Yeah. Right. And then they have a similar, the serious, that's both serious look. Yeah. Right. And that's Deuce Muhammad Ali. That's Deuce. And he was a Sudanese Muslim. He was a Sudanese Muslim in the early days. So when Jurali was coming up, he was around and he taught Jurali some stuff. You know what I mean? He opened him up to some things. Right. So they tutored the young Garvey.
Yeah, we lost that building.
Which building?
You and I,
yeah?
or UAI changed the college and Spadina and Bathurst between.
Oh, yeah?
55 College Street.
We have videos up. So we have videos on the site too.
Yeah. When I was looking at, I didn't get much. I didn't have the website.
Oh, you didn't have this one?
No.
Yeah, there's that.
I think I just got what was on it. Written about in one of the things or something like that.
Okay. And then this is the YouTube. That's where you go and watch our content. Monday and Tuesday on the stream and then there's our text we have to
Who's the graphic artist in the group?
Sure. I have a friend who does some graphic art. And he's that is, yeah.
Information to young.
And it's just getting people
Thinking here.
into class and getting them the information in the first because it takes time to
It takes
understand.
time, but comics, especially young youth, that
Oh yeah,
respond to.
yeah for sure.
About them and free information.
Martial arts, right? That's a decent. We already have that.
You have a martial arts too?
Yeah, yeah.
Martial
We're very. We do
Capoeira.
no Kupigani and Gumi. So it's not an art, a style that we study. We study martial arts
Right.
and we integrate different styles. And so in that
Capoeira.
a little bit, we haven't quite gotten there, but he's mostly good with Taekwondo, and Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. So,
Capoeira.
yeah, capoeira is good. I guess we sort of we integrate like drumming, so he brings the drum, we drum in patterns.
Most people who are teaching capoeira know that.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I was saying.
it's needed.
Mhm.
Because I would go into a couple of like Dubai and go like
Right.
yeah, like teaching capoeira.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in Brazil, I always thought that.
Yeah. And then
And sometimes like you think that Brazil is
like a blend there, like Spanish, black blend.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's as a large population of people of Africa outside of Nigeria. Brazil.
yeah. Exactly.
That's one culture to do. It held on to a lot of things. Cuba. I'm just interested in all of this together into
Sometimes what you want is you can't just take it to form.
yes, you can.
Well, we're doing what we're doing. We're doing what we can.
No, I'm not. You are. I'm just talking about the community. But I'm thinking
It should manifest.
it should manifest. It's not manifesting that absolutely no should yeah, that it can. Like right now we're talking about yesterday I had a picture of me. And then he was making a yeah, that's what we're talking about. So I'm saying something strong. That's coming into your fingernails flying in. That I know about law. The things don't manifest together. I know that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Not anybody. So, that's what I'm saying. It's